What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself. Your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network. Start the show.
Oh, hello, everybody. I am Dr. J Ramsay, the host of the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast, powered by CTR Media Network. And today is like an amazing day because it's the day that we be able to connect with all of you. But our show is all about motivating you, sharing knowledge, having upbuilding conversations centered around business, wellness, education, and life. We introduce you to some of the most amazing standout entrepreneurs and influencers who are truly making a positive impact in the world by sharing their insight, knowledge, in order to help you grow. So today we have Althea Cooper in the building. When you think about the words, listen, when you think about the words, resilient, tenacious, dedicated, these are the words that describes today's guest, Althea Cooper. She has been in landscaping over 30 plus years with her amazing husband. She is also a mom. She's an entrepreneur. She is a community leader. And today she is coming on to share her unique journey with all of us in order to motivate you to be your best version of yourself in the upcoming years. So today, without further ado, let's bring on Althea. Wait a minute. Hello, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's truly my pleasure. And like I said before, because we had a little time to speak a little bit backstage, how we have a lot in common. And so I'm so happy to meet someone like myself that is a fellow homeschooling mother, an entrepreneur, and a wife. How about that?
Yes, ma'am.
All together. So I have had the opportunity and the pleasure to interview so many different type of entrepreneurs, but I must say what you do is so essential and so needed, but you are one of my first landscaping interviews. And so I'm very honored to have you on the show today. So I want to know, how did your journey first start in the landscaping industry?
Okay, our story began in the late 80s in Atlanta. I was employed with the software company in Atlanta that my husband Joseph was the supervisor of a landscape maintenance crew for the property management company that owned the building where I worked. Joseph had no idea at the time, but I was watching him work from the fourth floor window of our building. It was at that moment that I realized that he really should be doing this for himself. We spoke about it later that evening, and he said he wanted to think about it. So he thought about it, and he decided to go for it, only if I was the managing partner of the business. So we'd never heard of an exit strategy in business, but we knew we needed to keep our day jobs until we could afford to leave our full-time jobs. So with no business plan, no loan, and using our own funds, I surprised Joseph with his first commercial backpack blower for his birthday. There was a young art student who was a security guard in the building where I worked. I had thought of a leaf blowing flyer with the question, "Up to your sleeves with autumn leaves?" And I asked him to design a flyer for us. So he drew a man buried in a pile of leaves with his arms sticking out the top of the pile holding a rake. And that was our first flyer. At the time, we lived in a neighborhood that was full of oak trees and leaves were falling everywhere. So we printed out the flyers, and Joseph drove our car while I went door to door, handing out flyers and selling the leaf blowing service to any homeowner that was available. It started lightly raining, but we kept going until all the flyers were distributed. And we had no idea at the time, but I was pregnant with our first child when we did that. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, Joseph worked his day job, and then he would service our customers in the evening and work full time on Saturdays and Sundays when he was off. So the business grew. And after servicing one of our customers, she asked us if we would maintain her lawn. And I responded immediately yes. And I gave her the price for the weekly service. She agreed with the price, and she became our first lawn maintenance customer. Now, the funny part of all this was we had no equipment besides the blower and a few tools like the rakes and shovels and a tarp that we use for blowing and hauling leaves. So when we got in the car, Joseph looked at me, he said, "We don't have any equipment. What are we supposed to do?" I said, "Let's go to Ace Hardware." And we purchased our first 21-inch commercial mower that day. So we had no truck. We had a small Hyundai, not a Honda, a Hyundai. A hatchback. And we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment at the time, but we made it work. We stored the equipment in a small tool utility closet that was on our back deck of the apartment. And when Joseph had to work, we removed the back seat from the Hyundai and set that in our living room. And he rolled the equipment and everything inside the back of the car. And that's how he went to work. So the company grew quickly over the next few years, and we were able to self-finance and purchase our truck, a trailer, and larger commercial equipment that he needed for the larger properties that we maintained at that time. So eventually we were able to give our 2-week notice to both our jobs in the mid-90s, and the rest was is history that continues to today. We were blessed to service several residential and commercial properties over the next 3 decades, and mainly in the areas where we currently live. So that was how we got started.
Well, that's great. That's great because you have been able, your husband and yourself have been able to stay in business for over 30 years. And one of the big things with small business owners or ones who's just starting out is being able to figure out that sweet spot between that 3 to 5 year interval of how can we maintain, how can we still grow, and how can we still stay viable and expand. And so when you look at it, the percentages, a lot of small businesses close within that time frame. So the fact that you was able to sustain, able to grow, and able to be in existence for over 30 years, that's a great accomplishment. So let's see. I see in the back of the background. So you call yourself Grass Cutters of Georgia.
Yes.
Right? LLC. Yes. And it's ironic how your business first started with just a leaf blower. And because most people feel like they have to have it all figured out first, right? I have to have it all. You are the perfect example of just do the work and follow take action on what needs to be done next. Because many people say, I'm not going to do that because I don't have I don't think I have a leaf blower. I don't have a lawnmower. You had a hatchback. Like, anybody know about a hatchback? That is a very teeny tiny car. That is not a car.
Exactly.
That you use for large equipment that's for landscaping. So, wow.
Yeah, we had to do what we had to do. And, you know, as we said, we do what we know how to do until we can get what we need to do it better. And yeah, that was how we did it. And staying on our jobs was part of that. You know, my husband's a very hardworking man, and he was motivated. Once I got that blower and he saw the flowers, he was ready to do it. He was 100% in. So yeah, that helped a lot to have that partnership that we had in the beginning and still today.
Well, I tell you what, that makes a good wife, like the book of Proverbs 31 say, because
Yes,
it was
ma'am.
pushing him in a nice, subtle way and still allowing him to be a man and make the final decision. But it was a soft
Absolutely.
push and motivation, like, okay, I'm not trying to take away your headship, but I do see that this is something that we need to be doing. But I just need to give you a little push, a little motivation.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you gave him that, and now look, 30 plus years later, you're still doing it. You expanded, you residential and commercial. And so, speaking of commercial, we have to take a commercial, and we'll be back in a moment. We're going to speak more about Althea's life and their business, because I feel that her story, or her husband and her story, is not just a story of entrepreneurship. It's a story of life. It's a story of growth. It's a story of hope. So if you're sitting home right now and you're sitting on that idea and you're saying, well, I can't do it now because I don't have everything now, this is a perfect representation of just do it. Number one, okay, that's Nike's slogan, but it's just a perfect for this. And you don't have to have it all figured out. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful, because clearly they're successful. 30 plus years. We'll be back in a moment after this commercial break.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
Anybody that knows Tina, she's all about visibility, she's all about connection, and she's all about helping people create a source of income through monetization. And so again, Tina is just really good at what she does. If you've not connected with Tina, if you've seen her show or heard her podcast and you're thinking about connecting with her, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. As a result of my connections with Tina, she has helped me with recruitment of speakers for my upcoming event. She's also helped me to recruit several authors for a few of the book projects that I have had the opportunity to produce in this past year. And in all, Tina's just a really great person, that she's genuine in helping entrepreneurs in reaching their goals. So again, if you have not connected with Tina, be sure that you do. The Tina Ramsay Show is definitely a great venue for you to connect with other entrepreneurs, to connect with other individuals that are going to be interested in your service or your project. This is Tiffany Bell. Again, you are watching and listening to the Tina Ramsay Show, and I look forward to being able to connect with you.
And just like that, we are back. And I come along with a friend, whom you may ask, the amazing Althea Cooper. So I'm glad that we're back, because when I think about resilience, your name should be in the dictionary. your face, you and your husband together. And I love the fact that it's your husband and yourself as a duo, because we don't see too much of husband and wife dynamics into business. And it's a cliche. Well, I'm not gonna say a cliche. It's a statement that some people find, and that they say that entrepreneurship, a relationship can't withstand the pressures of entrepreneurship. So clearly your marriage was able to withstand and flourish and grow. Not saying it didn't have different ups and downs, because all marriages do. I've been married over 20 plus years myself. But what I am saying is that your husband and yourself is a representation of how you can make the intricacies of work, marriage, family life, because you're a mother as well, of 5 children, right?
5 adult children now, but yes, 5.
But it was an adult back then. so I'm just like, at this point, seeing all of that, and you was a homeschooling mother for a period of time as well. And so seeing how you was able to work, the entrepreneurship side, the marriage side, being a mother, and also you personally battle with different things with health and your health over the years. And so seeing how you've been able to be so resilient is really a testament to the type of person you is, your dedication, and also that the only barriers that we have is the ones that we create for ourselves. Because
Exactly.
Go ahead.
What helps is the fact that Joseph and I have been friends since our late teens. We've been knowing each other almost 40 years. We've been married 37. So our friendship is what kept us through all these years, through all those ups and downs. So that helps that we grew together, you know. Yeah.
Oh, we have another thing in common. My husband, we friends too. Like literally, we went to middle school together.
Oh,
So we was friends way before we ever decided to have a relationship. So that helps as well. And we can laugh together and we enjoy each other's company, even under circumstances where we're like, oh, we just don't see eye to eye on this, but we still enjoy each other's company, and we don't let and sit with us in a provoked state. We talk it out, communication. So with that being said, can you share, because I want to talk a little bit more about your business and the foundational pieces, because so many people today are starting entrepreneurship. They may not necessarily do landscape, but these principles that you have built your foundation with can be transitioned into any facet of entrepreneurship, because they're the rudiment of the foundation of what all entrepreneurship is. And so can you give some key principles or philosophies that guided your approach to your landscaping and the community development, because you do have a community side that you advocate and you do for. So could you give us your key principles and philosophies on that?
Okay. Well, our mission statement is straightforward and meaningful. We increase property valuations for marginalized and mixed-use communities by providing reliable landscape maintenance services. Now, this is more than just a statement for us. It's a commitment to enhance not only the aesthetics of properties, but also to increase the economic opportunities and quality of life for communities that many companies either choose not to serve, were inconsistent with quality, lack personalized services, or were just not trustworthy. They didn't fulfill the promises they meant they were going to do. We believe that everyone deserves a beautiful, serene outdoor space. And we're here to deliver that with every blade of grass we cut and every plant we nurture. So to carry out this mission, we manifest 5 core values in the manner we conduct business and connect with people. The first is love. We have an authentic desire to share a passion for our community and its people. Second is purpose. We promote a sense of cooperation and good intentions in our society. Third is determination. We aim to succeed in every endeavor we pursue with care and rigor. Fourth is pride. We embody self-confidence and dignity in ourselves and each other. And lastly, and not least, is trust. We cultivate relationships with respect and integrity in all engagements.
Wow. So the one thing that stood out, 2 words that stood out to me was the love and determination, because clearly you have that innate spirit to have that determination. But I have also known that when anyone's foundational piece is love, that love cover over a lot of different things. And so when you lead with love, it always turns out good. Not saying it's going to always be easy, but it turns out well, because you're not being selfish, you're being selfless. And then another important thing that's important to me is trust. Your clients, we want to trust, because our landscape is a part of our identity. It's a part of how we feel emotionally when we pull up to our home and all of that. So all of this, landscape is not just landscape. Landscape is a movement. It's a feeling. It's comfort or not feeling comfortable.
Right. And, to take it a step further, they not only trust us with maintaining their property, but they trust us at their home, around their family, the wives, children. And a lot of the women that we service are single women. So to know that we're a husband-wife team, they trust my husband. He's very personable and respectful. So that helps with a lot of the business that we've gotten and a lot of the mouth-to-mouth referrals that we received as a result of that trust.
Oh, yeah. And especially in the time and age that we live in now, where we see a lot of the love cooling off in regards to how people interact with one another, and just going back to the simple thing of respect, And so seeing a husband and wife duo, and then seeing the morals, the standards, the ethics, the trust, basically the safety, the safe haven, and then they're able to come out, or you're able to come out and be able to provide them with quality service. It's just a win-win situation, because it's more than just landscaping. It's a security, like you said. You're in close proximity with their territory.
Their life. Yes.
Their life. And so that's very important. And that's, now that I know your mission and your core values and your philosophy, now I understand how you made it to over 30 plus years.
Yes.
Those are
and
great.
Really, our customers have become more friends with us over the years. Even the customers who may have moved away that were working here at one time and they relocated, we still stay in contact, and we have a good relationship. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. You have your own community that you have built over the years.
Exactly.
And that's something great. So, Althea, in your experience, what advice would you give to someone that may be looking to improve their landscape, their home surroundings? Because I don't have a green thumb. I don't know about landscape. I'm just like, please, somebody just cut this grass.
Yes.
And make our outdoor spaces more vibrant and welcoming. Even if someone's not coming to our home, but just to drive by our home, can you make it more welcoming? So what advice would you give to someone like myself?
I'm going to start with the basics. So whether you're hiring a company to maintain your lawn, or you're a do-it-yourselfer with a new or existing landscape, we suggest several things. First, definitely do a soil test. People don't think about that before they get any work done on their property. You can purchase the soil testing kits from Home Depot, Lowe's, or any local landscape supply store. What these kits do, what this test does, is it measures the pH level of your soil, and it lets you know whether your soil has a perfect balance of acid and alkaline. Because if your soil is over acidic or overly alkaline, you can't plant what you want to plant there. So you want to make sure that your turf and plants will thrive, because your soil is adequately balanced with the nutrients that they need for success. Then before you plant anything, you have to make sure you're going to have proper water. So that's where an irrigation system comes in. We prefer installing any irrigation before putting in grass, flowers, shrubbery, or trees. So knowing where you need to water and how long you're going to need to water the different areas can conserve water and save you on your water bill. You want to install, if you have a small property or you're a renter, you want to install a manual sprinkling system, or you can use drip irrigation system for areas like islands where trees or shrub and flower beds are. And that, like I say, will conserve water. For larger and more sophisticated landscapes, you might want to install an automatic irrigation system that has an electric timer or a rain sensor. Next, you want to have knowledge of the types of trees and grasses that are specifically grown in the area or region where you live. and you want to know the correct height requirements for cutting that grass. You got to ask yourself several questions. Do you want green grass year round, or do you want the grass that turns dormant or brown during the fall winter season? Do you have full sun, partial shade, or full shade in the areas where your plants are going to be? Because that determines whether it's going to grow or not. Some shrubs need full sun, some plants need partial sun, some need all sun or no sun at all. So you have to know these things before designing your landscape. Then you want to decide what type of mulch you want to use in the design that you have, whether you use pine straw, shredded wood chips of various colors, or rocks of different sizes and colors to complement your landscape. You might also want to consider using decorative lighting, which spotlights several areas that enhance the aesthetic appeal and provide a relaxing setting for outdoor gardens, decks, patios, water fountains, and some play areas for people who have children. Then you have to consider the tools that you're going to need to maintain your landscape. The mowers, edgers, weeders, blowers, pruners, and whatever hand tools you might need. You got to learn what size you need for the property that you're maintaining and what brand of equipment is going to work best on your property. And you also need to know how to maintain that equipment for longevity. So it's always good to familiarize yourself on the basics of maintaining your property's landscape. And this doesn't require deep research, because if you live in the United States, it's already done for you. A good starting point would be to connect with your county's or parish, depending on where you live, your county or parish's cooperative extension service office. And they're staffed with people who work closely with university-based extension specialists, and they deliver a lot of answers to questions about gardening. You can also...
Listen,
what happened?
I had no idea. I mean, no idea that it was this intricate, this detailed.
Yes.
With, I'm floored. Like, even down to, I have never did a soil test. I didn't know you're supposed to do a soil test. You know, I never even thought about it, but it makes sense. So the fact that you're able to, man, you're like the landscape doctors. Like you know how to do all of this different stuff in order to make a great overall feel. So it's not just simply going to Home Depot and just picking out all these different flowers you want, because you can literally go and pick out different flowers and shrubbery that will not grow in your yard because of maybe the soil, or maybe it's not enough light. I wasn't even thinking about all of that. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. But I do want to also ask you this question right here. And then you can elaborate more on the previous question that we just answered if you want to finish your thought.
No, it's okay.
You use the hashtag, because I've been following you on social media. So you use the hashtag Journey of Freedom. You've been going live every single day, right? And I saw that Journey to Freedom hashtag for your Facebook Live videos on Facebook. So I'm just curious, what does that mean? Because it's not your business name. So what does Journey to Freedom mean?
Well, because we've endured so many challenges throughout our years in business, we have to now get out of our own way, so that we can get past these experiences and arrive to what we consider a new true freedom, not just for ourselves and our family, but for our community at large, and hopefully an extended community now that we have access to the world, really. For instance, we've weathered storms like economic ups and downs through recessions, several of them. We've survived the housing market crash, which really hurt and destroyed many landscape companies and any other company that was associated with housing. We've braved the uncertainties of the COVID pandemic, and we've faced personal health battles, most recently being that Joseph contracted COVID. And anybody knows that people of our age were at risk. Well, he was in the ER, he was actually in intensive care for over a month because of it. And I recently survived a stroke. I've had rheumatoid arthritis since childhood. So we've been through a lot, but we've survived a lot. And although I'm completely disabled now because of my stroke and the arthritis, I can't stand or walk. Although I'm disabled, I'm still able as long as my mindset and spirit remains positive. And like I said, we have 5 adult children, and they rose to the occasion when we were down. And they kept things going for us when we were down. And they continue to assist us wherever needed. And the best part of all of this really was the bond that we had with our customers. We remained faithful to each other throughout all these challenging times because they were going through low points as well in their lives. They were having financial crunches. Some customers were laid off from jobs, or they had to take a cut in pay because they were working from home. Some people were on the verge of losing their homes through the housing market, and they couldn't afford to pay us. But we continued to serve our community, understanding the importance in sticking together. So these challenges taught us invaluable lessons about endurance, adaptability, and the importance of roots that connected us in our community. So our resilience stems on the belief that we do more than just maintenance, that it's a craft that enhances lives and safeguards our environment. And we're implementing several things to get to our journey to freedom. But I want to stop there. I can go into that if you'd like.
Well, what I would like to do is I love what you just said about everything, the journey to freedom. Now I understand that it means more than what I didn't even know what to think, what it meant. But now that I hear it, I absolutely love what you have and what you're doing. And also hearing about your personal testimony with your husband and yourself. And so, again, going back to that resilience, going back to that determination that we mentioned before, you guys, you can be in business 2 to 3 years, 5 to 10, and like in their case, 30 years. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to meet with different challenges or struggles, whether it's for business or personal. The fact of the matter is, if you have that love, if it's is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to keep going. And the fact that they made community so important, not only with their clients, but their family, which is their first community. So when they was experiencing health issues, who came to their rescue first? Their children went and helped. And then it carried on to the community that they built, which was their customers and clients. I have customers and clients that's been with me for years, and I call them, they call me. The relationship and the dynamic changes over here. They become an extension of your family, actually. They become this because you think about them, you pray for them, you worry about them, you want to help assist them, even when they're going through ups and downs. And you'll make yourself available for them, even when they don't all the time have the money, because you see their value and you have built rapport with them over the years.
Exactly.
And so that's the way I build my business as well. And so we have so many similarities. So you've been sharing so many just great food for thought that we can just use, not just for entrepreneurship, but also in our daily living. But you created, because you're so knowledgeable. I'm like, you need to do a seminar. You need to do a course. You need to do something, because this stuff can be transitioned into everyday entrepreneurship, everyday life, you know? And so did you create an ebook, or do you have an ebook or something of that effect that people can get?
That is part of implementing our journey to freedom. It includes developing strategies to help reach our goal for 2024 and beyond. So some of these initiatives are, we're creating comprehensive ebooks and courses for both aspiring landscape maintenance entrepreneurs, homeowners, and renters that do it themselves. We're going to expand our consultation and maintenance services in order to collaborate with projects with companies, nonprofits, governmental entities that benefit the communities across the United States. Then we want to empower youth and elderly care organizations with an intent to work closely with nonprofit organizations that focus on youth development and landscape needs for the elderly. So our mission is going to extend beyond landscape maintenance. It's about fostering growth and enhancing the overall health and well-being of our community members. So we're excited about what's coming, and we look forward to making a meaningful difference.
Oh, you're already doing it, but now you're extending it to go a step further, because now, you know, we need these ebooks, we need these courses, and that enables you to go out of the outreaches out, or how should I say, it reaches out of Georgia. Now you're global, because I can see how what you guys are offering can really just help homeowners. It can help renters. It can help businesses and budding entrepreneurs that need to go in this part of the industry. It will give them that mentorship, that coaching that they need in order to be successful, because you have this longevity, and you also have this up and down, personal and business, that it will be valuable for them to be able to have that confidence. So how can people get in contact with you? Because I know you service Georgia. I know everybody's saying, like myself, I wish she was in South Carolina. But how can people get in contact with you?
Well, our website is grasscuttersofgeorgia.com, and that's cutters with an S. You can also reach us by filling out a form that we have available. Yes, that's our email address, support@grasscuttersofgeorgia.com. We also have a form that you can complete. And for anybody that completes it that checks out that they're from your listening audience, we have a free four-page PDF on landscape maintenance checklist. And it offers essential tasks to keep your landscape flourishing all year round. So we have a link for that. The GCG project bit.ly link is for that. Then if you want to subscribe to our free quarterly newsletter, Grass Cutters Chronicles, you can do that as well. And we have a link for that as well.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on, not only sharing about your business, but sharing about your life, and hoping to make a positive impact in the world through the power of landscaping. Through the power of landscaping. Who would have thought that landscaping was this intricate and detailed? And your knowledge is really breathtaking in regards to all the intricacies of what landscaping is, because you see a lot of people come cut grass, different stuff like that. But now I realize it's more than just cutting the grass. A real landscaper, they know the health of the land. The community. I love the part that you do with community, your trust, your love, and your determination, and also your other two missions, which
I wanted to also add that anyone that wants to know more, you can definitely follow me on Facebook at Althea Cooper, and you can DM me or contact us through that page with any questions or concerns you may have about anything I mentioned or anything that you may have that I didn't mention.
I think you gave us a great overall overview of what landscaping is, what it isn't, and also knowing a little bit more about your core values, as well as your husband, and seeing, like I said, a husband and wife that have been successful as parents as well as entrepreneurs. It's really a breath of fresh air with the climate that we see on the media today, with the negativity. You're definitely making a positive impact in more than one way. So I thank you so much, for coming on, sharing your life, sharing your journey, and you're welcome back anytime to the show. And I'll be watching you on Facebook.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate the invite and the opportunity to speak to your audience. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's truly our pleasure. So hold tight. I'll be back with you in a moment. You guys, wasn't that amazing? Althea Cooper, you can check her out on all social media platforms. Again, make sure if you are in the Georgia and surrounding areas, and you are looking for quality landscape maintenance, you can go to Grass Cutters of Georgia. That is GrassCuttersofGeorgia.com for those of you listening on the radio and the podcasting side. And make sure to check that out. And for those of you who would like to send them an email to get estimates and everything of that effect, the email is support@grasscuttersofgeorgia.com. That's support@grasscuttersofgeorgia.com. And don't forget to complete her Bentley link that's in the description of this video, either to the top, the bottom one, depending upon which platform you're on. Make sure that you click that link so that you can get your free PDF, especially if you're an aspiring landscaper, or if you are a renter or a homeowner and you want to know how you can better utilize your property or be able to change your outside to a great living experience. And for those of you who have the privilege to be able to be in Georgia, you need to just give her a call. Give her and her husband a call, because Lord knows if they was over here in South Carolina, I'd be like, girl, you need to roll on down here, because we are not, my husband and I are not no green thumb people. But anyway, for those of you, because I want to speak to my lovelies for the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast. That's what we call our family here, our lovelies. I want you to know that if no one told you today that you are worthy, that you are valued, that you are important, I want you to know that I love you, I value you, and you are worthy and you are important. So what do I want you to do? And to the next time that we see each other, I want you to do what? I want you to keep smiling. We'll see you next week, same time on the Tina Ramsay Show. Because remember, it's time for you to come share, shine, and grow on the Tina Ramsay Show. For those of you who would like to sponsor our show or be a featured guest, just go to our website at CTRMediaNetwork.com and click the Tina Ramsay Show and register to be a guest. We'll see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye.
Well, you have any closing remarks before we head out?
Y'all, please support the movement of CTR Media Network. I'm telling you, being a part of this amazing media family, I can't go wrong, right? When they have the support, they support us in all that we do. When we have questions, they take the time out to advise and mentor. So definitely check out the different plethora of shows that are on the network. I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the family, but I promise you, you will be uplifted, inspired, educated, motivated, all the good stuff that we all need to carry ourselves out through the day. So definitely go check it out, y'all.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate it.